Oppa Gundam style, everybody. I sounded a little confrontational when I said that.
Oppa Gundam style.
Welcome to Cool Robot, the world's only Gundam podcast. Oh yeah, dig it. We're not the world's only Gundam podcast, but
we're the world's only Gundam podcast on Noise Space.
That's true. More and more people are saying. Yeah. Hey. This show just kind of goes off the rails at this point, doesn't it, Morg?
Oh my god. Gundam is a good show.
I genuinely do truly, madly, deeply believe that by the time I finish this show, it will be my new favorite anime of all time.
I would have to think about it. I haven't seen a lot of anime in a while. I'm bad at watching things.
Preach.
For anyone who isn't hear me complain about not watching things. Yeah, the only way I can seem to finish things is to do a podcast about them. Hence this podcast.
Yeah, see, here's my thing with it. For the longest time, my favorite anime was Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Ooh.
And I would have said that was my favorite, unequivocally for a long time. But A, it's been a while since I've seen it, and B, there's a lot of, I don't know problematic is the right word, but it's just a very horny show.
It's just a horny show, yeah. You
just got big ol' bazongas flapping about.
It's not problematic in, the time to cancel a Gurren Lagann type of way.
It's not, politically problematic.
It's just, I don't think I'd like it.
It's just horny. Yeah, it's just not tasteful. But this is tasteful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, here's the thing. I was talking with Sarah about this earlier, and they informed me, I did not know this, I'm a fake fan. Gundam was originally going to be canceled. Hashtag Gundam is over party.
Gundam is over party!
The series originally had a run of 52 episodes.
Really?
I don't remember the circumstances of why they were canceling it in the first place, but that number was brought from 52 down to 39, and they negotiated back up to 43.
Ah.
So they had 9 episodes less than what they planned. I guess 10 episodes less than what they planned. But they were able to wrap everything up, albeit at a much quicker pace, which explains why at this point things just pop off and stuff happens with very little explanation.
I was gonna ask a little bit, because I was like, man, I love this show and I'm enjoying it a lot, but there is some strangeness.
Maybe some of the weirder things were foreshadowed earlier that we didn't really pick up on because I'm a fool and my brain has a big cartoon hole in it.
Yeah, you've got one big hole, I've got several. I have Swiss cheese brain. No, but
it's like in a video game, would you rather do one hit that does a lot of damage or several hits that do smaller damage, but there's more of them? It all adds up in the end.
Yeah, so there might have been, let us know, because I'm actually very curious to see if there's, more lead up to, the whole powers thing. I knew it was gonna happen, because I knew about new types.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was gonna be in the next series, based on how the show was going.
I mean, after 0079, from Zeta onward, I believe it's just oops, all new types. And, it is interesting, too, because I believe, at least for Zeta and Double Zeta, they're about the same amount of episodes as 0079 is. And you would think that after they saw the success of Gundam, they're like, damn, we gotta never cancel the show again. Hashtag Gundam is not over party. But maybe they just realized it's a quicker pace. I don't know. I mean, I'll do more research as we get into more series, but...
I mean, how many are there? 43, you said?
43 in this one. I want to say Zeta's around 40 as well.
I mean, that's a good size for, a season, which, these are all kind of... they're all separate series, but they're all, generally a season long series, kind of.
Okay, Zeta has 50 episodes.
Right. Okay. like in a lot of shows that would be 2 seasons actually, but
Yeah, and Double Zeta is 47. Yeah, you think like a 24 episodes is a nice tight number for a season.
so like honestly 40 to 50 is not bad.
I think what I'm just mostly glad about is that they found a way to wrap it up without it like this sort of abruptly stopping.
Yes, because I feel like there's a lot of uh robot shows even possibly that ended very abruptly, maybe like Ava. But
I think that was more that they ran out of budget, not that they were like
they weren't
canceled early.
Yeah, I know.
Look, here's the thing. My hot take, which isn't even that hot of a take, is that the last 2 episodes of Ava are very good actually. And very important to the show, and are good that they're like that because it's like it's a meta commentary.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. I'd have to rewatch it, but I don't remember like hating it. I just remember people being like, "What the heck?"
I dare say that the TV ending of Ava is a better ending than End of Ava.
I've never seen End of Ava.
Well, hey, you know what? Fuck all that, because we're not here to talk about Ava. We're here to talk about Gundam.
Unless I decide to talk about Ava in the last section.
Actually, Ava Unit 01 and none of the other Avas are actually robots. They're bionic beings covered in armor.
I don't care.
Anything's a robot if you believe it.
Yeah, humans are like biological robots.
Damn, it's true.
Like you're literally a Gundam, okay? Like your brain is the pilot. Your brain is the pilot, and your body is the Gundam.
Hey, Morg. Episode 34, Faithful Encounter.
Episode. Yes.
We have a good energy going. I'm excited for these ones.
My first note is, who is this new lady, and why can she predict what happens?
Okay, yeah. So they're on side 6, right?
Yes.
Cameron's like, get the hell out of here. We don't want you here anymore. You're just going to bring us trouble. He doesn't say it like in a rude way, but he's just like, you got to leave. Sorry, buddy.
He's kind of right.
And he's right. White Base is just a magnet for trouble, isn't it?
White Base just gets into so many shenanigans.
But Amuro's driving through White Base. They're like, we can't leave yet. We got to do maintenance. We have like 2 more hours here. Amuro's out doing God knows what. And he's driving. And this is such a cute part right here, though, because it's raining. First of all, if the whole colony is like a cylinder, where rain come from? I guess it's big enough that they can, like, maybe potentially artificially create weather.
Yeah, I just assume it's like they're all temperature controlled because they're supposed to, like, mimic Earth to some extent.
Yeah. But he says, like, they could have given me a weather schedule. That is such a cute little line that I love, that they, like, want to mimic Earth life so much that they have weather and they will tell you when it's going to rain.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very cute, yeah. But yeah, please tell me about the weird bird and the weird girl.
Yeah, the weird bird and the weird girl. So Amuro, stuck in the rain, runs under, like, a roof of, like, what is it, a church? I don't know.
I think it's just like a shack.
Some kind of little shack thing. I don't know, it looked nicer than that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. He's under a roof to wait out the rain, and he spots a girl, like, in a house nearby. And she's just, like, chilling. She's like, damn, a shame what's gonna happen to that bird that's flying by in the rain. Amuro hears her say this, and when she says that, a few minutes later, the bird just dies. The bird just falls. It's just dead.
It's a very creepy moment. She doesn't really look sad about it, because Amuro asks her, like, are you not fond of it? And she says this, like, raw as hell line. She says, who could hate beautiful things? Do you think there's anyone who hates beautiful things? Isn't it sad to watch them grow old and perish? Like, damn, girl, it's like the 3rd minute of the episode. Calm down.
Yeah, I'm like, who are you?
I will say, not a big fan of the trope of, like, magical foreign person.
Oh, I was gonna mention that. Not a huge fan of that.
She has dark skin. Okay, yeah, she has a bindi. It's just, I saw her and I was just immediately, like, on edge, like, don't make this weird, Gundam.
Yeah, not great, but it is very Her introduction's very interesting, even if the trope is bad.
She shows up, he goes, yo, this bird gonna die. And then it does. And then, like, the scene just sort of abruptly ends.
Well, she also calls his eyes beautiful, like, after talking about,
Maybe the eyes tell you if you're a new type or not.
That's what I was wondering. They have very different eyes, though. Also.
Maybe Amuro just has pretty eyes. Maybe she just thinks his eyes are pretty. They're valid.
Yeah.
So we get a little side scene over here. This scene owns. Char is going. He's like leaving Conscon and Dozel. He's like, all right, screw those old guys. I'm gonna go back docket side 6. He's talking about how like, well, Kycelia will back me up on this, even though like I'm an asshole to her too. And he has to park right next to White Base.
Yes, I love this. Okay, in the dub, they even Kai, like, you know, I know he says it's like a comic thing or something in the sub.
Yeah.
But in the dub, he literally says a sitcom.
Oh my god.
He's like, wow, this is a sitcom situation. I'm like, yeah, it is.
That's so good. Yeah, he's like, it's just like in a manga. We should invite them over for a party. Like, damn, Kai, you really turned yourself around. I love you now, homie.
So good. It's so good.
And they're all just like looking at him like, bro, we can't.
Hayato looks about ready to throw down.
Oh, Kayato. That's their ship name.
Oh, that's true.
Hayato is ready to throw down, and they're like, yo, walk it off. Like, it's fine. We can't cause an international incident. He's really, really mad. He's like, they killed our men. They killed Ryu. But it's fine. Char just, like, walks out.
Yeah, he just kind of ignores it. Like, he ignores that it's a White Base, even. And I'm like, wow.
He just has the swagger.
He's just very, good at, you know.
He's very good.
He's very good. He's very good at not causing incident, is what I was gonna say.
That's not true, though.
I know.
It's when he's not inside a ship or a robot, he's fine.
When he's inside a ship, he will destroy everything that he touches.
As soon as he gets in front of like a control panel, he says, today I will cause problems on purpose. God let me live another day, and I will turn it into everyone else's problem.
And by you live another day, you're just running away like a butt.
Get his ass. Next, Amuro goes back to the junkyard.
Yeah, he goes back to his dad. It's kind of another bummer of a scene between him and his dad. It's weird because there's like a voiceover thing, and I realized it's not the sub where he's just like, damn, he must have brain damage from the lack of oxygen.
He said it again?
Yeah, he said it again. I don't know why. I'm like, okay, well, thanks for the reminder, I guess. LOL.
It's like, so this scene was just like a pretty effective one too, because he doesn't really say anything. His dad's like, oh, so you put the part in the Gundam? That's great. Like, you can do so good in combat now. I'm going to start working on more. And he just like goes away and starts working on his table, and like Amuro starts crying again. And it's like a mostly silent scene. It really just seems like Amuro is going back there to try and reason with his dad again. He realizes like, no, he really can't. Like, his dad's just going to be like that.
Yeah, the silent part is when they put the in again. It's weird. There's definitely like a lot of things I do like about the dub, but I think it would have been more appropriate to be quiet for contemplative. But it's okay. So Amuro, lied to him about how he didn't yeet the part. So then
Amuro drives. He's not paying attention. He's playing SnowRunner, and he doesn't have all-wheel drive yet, and he doesn't have a lockable differential.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a differential that does it, but
he
gets stuck in a big thing of mud and has to get towed out. And a car drives by real fast and splashes him with mud like a funny comedy.
It's very good. It's very common. It's sitcom. This is just a sitcom.
It's just like a sitcom, isn't it, Morg?
Because what happens is they stop and get out, and wow, when you know it, the person in the car is Char, and then
what a small world.
The driver is the woman he saw before,
Lala.
Her name is Lala. They mentioned it before, for me at least, And
Oh, this is the first time we hear it in the sub.
I thought that it was a robot name, was Lala, because
The law. No, it's not nearly a weird enough name for it to be a mobile suit name.
yeah, yeah, no. Lala's a pretty normal name. Um,
This scene is so good.
Char's so polite to Amuro.
He's such a nice, polite young man.
He's such a nice, polite young man. Amuro is just like immediately like, that's Char. Oh my god, that's Char. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my
Amuro
god, oh my god.
immediately starts Jordan Peele sweating right now.
Oh my god.
And either Char doesn't recognize him at all, or he realizes. He has a feeling, right? I don't think he recognizes him, but like Char sort of gets a feeling. It's like, I feel like I know this guy from somewhere.
Yeah. He's like, dang, you seem familiar. And yeah, he's like, I feel like I heard your name around somewhere. And Amuro's like, yeah. In his head, Amuro's like, yeah, I know you.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
You're Char.
Like Char introduces him, he's like, yeah, Char Aznable, it's me. And he has Lala sort of tow the car, and like he tells Amuro, he's like, well, maybe you're afraid of me because I'm the Red Comet Char Aznable, but like it's still polite to thank people. And Amuro has to thank his sworn enemy.
Yes,
he has to drive off.
He has to thank his sworn enemy, who he realizes, he's like, how do I know that's Char? He's like, that's very strange. So that's
I'm
a fun hint for later. But Amuro, like, I thought at first, I was like, oh, he knows him because he saw him through the hole in the robot. But I'm like, oh no, maybe not.
No, that was Rambaral.
Yeah, I forgot that was Sorry, I made a noise. Yeah, that was Rambaral, and I was like, he just knows. Very strange.
Knows. Yeah. And like as Char and Lala drive off, he's like, that boy was acting weird as hell. And Lala just says, oh, maybe it's because he's afraid of you. He recognizes all your military accomplishments, so you're just a very intimidating figure. And Char's like, it's probably nothing to worry about.
But yeah, it's just very, like, it's a very fun scene, because Char's just like, wow, you're so young. You're a young soldier. He's like, don't be intimidated by me. And I'm like, you've battled.
At some point, I don't know if this is just my memory not working right, but Amuro says he's 16 years old, and I'm pretty sure he was 15 when the series started. So he must have had his birthday in between.
I
then
wrote
and now.
that note. I was like, oh, he's 16 now. I literally wrote that down. I was like, when was his birthday? I think you're right. I think he was 15 originally, but
November 4th.
Oh, thank you. I was like, Amuro and Char both said their full names. I mean, I guess Char's is kind of a fake name, kind of a real name, kind of the name he's going by. But I'm like, Amuro, why would you say your full name? I don't know why that bothered me. I was just like, couldn't they look him up or something? I don't know. I don't know how Intel works. I don't know how war works.
Who could claim to? So back at White Base, it just sort of, the situation resolves. Amuro's back there. Cameron shows up and he's like, yo, I can use my personal ship. I'll escort you away, because like they definitely know Zeon's ready to like beat their asses as soon as they leave airspace.
Oh yeah. And Mirai like kind of knows it's for her sake, and she's like, you don't have to do that. I'm good.
But it just escalates. They just start bickering and fighting more and more and more. It's like the most awkward thing, because the camera cuts to like everybody's face on the bridge, and they're just like, They're all making the taxidermied fox face. And hey, Morg, remember last week when I said how much I liked Slager? Yeah, all that goodwill went down the turlet when he slapped her.
Yeah.
He does a hit. And like, okay, it's not even just that, because this like leads to more things that I was very like mad about. Don't do a hit. He hits her, right? He like slaps her, and everyone's like, what the hell? And he's like, okay, calm down. Cameron is helping us out. We need to take his help. This is for your sake. This is for all of our sakes. Like, think about this. And then Mirai's like, okay, I love you now. It's just...
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I get over it because I have to, but also because of later stuff that happens with. But, Slager slapping Mirai like enough to make her like knock back. I hate it. I hate to see it. I know there's been a lot of slapping of children in this show already, but it just seems like why slap her first of all? You know, like
Yeah, the optics are bad.
she's not wrong. Like I like that Bright quickly comes in after this whole like thing and is like, "Hey, if you don't um you know, if you're still offering, we'll take you up on it."
Yeah, it's the thing. He's like, okay, don't do that, Slayer, but also you're kind of right.
Yeah, and like I get that her being mad though, and I'm like, I'm just like, why did why did he slap? Like he's right, but he's not right. Like I don't know. It's none of his business.
It's none of his business, but they end up leaving Psi 6. Conscon deploys the Rick Doms that have been waiting. They're like buzzing white base flying right next to them, waiting for them to like leave the perimeter. And like Cameron sort of like has to leave, and he, you know, runs up to the bridge and like waves goodbye to Mirai as they pass. And then like a television ship comes up and starts filming the fight.
Yes, the fight gets filmed. It's so like just funny in like kind of a dark way because it's just
Yeah,
like,
in the red corner, the Earth Federation's white base, and in the blue corner, Conscon and his ship of the Musai, blah blah blah. I sort of fell apart there, but it's just like
his
it's very funny.
Couscous.
Conscon's couscous, Musai's, and they're like, okay, the battle starts. They like immediately start shooting as soon as they like, you know, cross the threshold. White base can't really do a whole lot with the whole being next to neutral territory thing. And like as they're doing this, Amuro, he's fighting a little strangely, you see.
Yeah, man. Amuro's fighting. He goes apeshit. He goes crazy.
Amuro turns into the meme of like the brain becoming so big that it turns into like a sofa that you're lounging on.
Except it turns into a Gundam.
Except it turns into Gundam, and Amuro's Gundam, and Gundam's Amuro. And my notes just here said, it is beginning.
He is Gundam. He is Gundam.
He can see Gundam. He can like see the Rick Dom's movement before they do it. He like gets his sixth sense. He can like know what's happening behind him. It's like more gets happening.
Yeah, he's predicting their moves. He's like, damn, I know how they'll move. What is happening? I can see everything. I can see all the numbers. I can see into the matrix. I know where they're going.
I can solve the equations floating around my head.
Finally. But
Conscon says, how can one ship cause us so much trouble? That's just like the subtitle of the show at this point.
That's just Gundam, baby. That's
just Gundam.
Like, that's just white base. That's just Gundam. It's crazy. Because yeah, like he can like see the weak points of one of the the ship that Kuskan is in or whatever. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's crazy. It's cool. It's bad. It's good. You know, as is most of this show. It's bad. It's good because there's a lot of distraction because of how good he is now.
Right. He's becoming an efficient killer.
He's becoming a very efficient killer, and I'm like, no, you're supposed to be
you're a baby. And we get a little scene with Char and Lala hanging out.
Yeah, they're watching the show. They're watching the battle happen from Side 6 because of the TV people.
Right. They're watching it. They're watching it on Fox Sports.
So is Amuro's dad, which I hate.
Yeah, but Lala's like, the white mobile suit will win, and Char says, that kind of intuition's why I took you under my wing.
Yes.
And yeah, he does. He like Amuro stabs all the weak points of the Shive with his like beam javelins or whatever. And like we just see a bunch of scenes like cut back and forth. His dad is like, "Oh, he won because of the new part I give on Gundam." And Cameron starts. He does a very evil laugh.
He's so scary.
I don't like this guy. Hopefully we never get to see him again.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, like, half of me is like, I want Amuro to still get closure with his dad, and half of me is like, no, he's never gonna get closure with his
I'm like,
dad.
stay away from him.
But Cameron cries because he's, really sad about Mirai being in the war and being dangerous. And I will say it's kind of touching because it's not at the point where it's like he's crying because she's woman, therefore she's weak, and therefore she's dainty and should be fighting. It's more of he just like is so emotionally distraught at the woman he loves, like basically like having to be in combat.
Yeah, having to be in combat, leaving, kind of wanting to stick with it,
And to his credit, he doesn't like he's given up on trying to stop her. He's like, okay, I know you're not gonna leave White Base. I want to do as much as I can to help you. So it's like, yeah, good on you, Cameron. Like, it sucks, it hurts, but like he's still doing whatever he can to help her out.
I'm like,
It's
they
nice.
should
I don't
just
know.
be friends,
They should just be friends. But yeah, Amuro cries thinking about his dad again.
Amuro cry? I don't remember that part.
It's like the last thing we see.
Oh, okay. Oh, in the dub, he calls the ramming attack a kamikaze attack, which surprised me.
It's true, but like, yeah, I guess that's what it is, but that's just, I don't know. I don't know why that I'm getting hung up on that, because it absolutely is the kind of thing they've been doing in the show the entire time.
Yeah,
They just haven't
they
said
haven't called it
out
that
loud.
though. Also,
Yeah.
it's just weird.
Curious.
I don't know.
It could just be like the subs, like it could, very well translate to that effectively, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Moving on, what's the next one we got?
35. The Glory of Solomon.
Oh, the Wisdom of Solomon.
Because Solomon is the base that they're gonna go attack.
Yep.
Amuro is different than us.
Amuro's different. I mean, you're right. It's true, and you should say it.
Everyone is thinking it also.
More and more people are saying that Amuro Ray is different. So, White Base is getting resupplied from the Columbus ship. Cool name, not problematic at all. We do get a very cute scene because Bright has to like leave in a little shuttle to go to Columbus to talk to the commander there because he's the one in charge. Bright's HBIC. Kika had Bright in charge.
Had Bright in charge.
Kika is like throwing a tantrum. She's like, I want to meet the commander too. And Bright's like, you're like 2 years old. Calm down, child.
You're a baby. The fact you're even here is probably bad.
The fact that you've been on White Base this entire time is like problem enough, child. And Bright goes, and he's talking to the commandant there, and the commandant's like, nah, like I'm not that important in the face of superior officers. You, on the other hand, are like, you're getting pretty good at this whole commanding thing.
He's like, you're good at this now. And I'm like, yeah, he is.
Again, it's the caveat of he shouldn't be good at this because it's war and it's bad, but it's also I'm proud of him.
I'm proud.
I care him.
I care, right.
But yeah, they're talking about the battle plans because they're joining the attack on Solomon. White Base is going to be the sort of like forward distraction fleet.
As always. White Base.
As always. I guess they get to do more about it, but...
Yeah, they're like in the middle of battle this time instead of being like a decoy, but they're still like a distraction.
Yeah. We get a... Do you catch this weird scene with Amuro?
Yeah, Amuro like sees the blonde kid that I always forget the name of, but like thinks he sees him as Frau Bo?
I don't know the purpose of this scene. I don't know if it's supposed to be like, damn, Amuro's starting to think more about Frau Bo, or it's like, damn, Amuro's brain is all getting messed up because he's being in space for too long, so he's confusing people. It could go either way.
I was thinking the former.
Yeah, probably the former.
The latter's interesting, though. But also, especially because of all, like, the previous things of, like, oh, Frau, stop being so cold to Frau, blah, 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 blah. There's, like, this leaning on Amuro and Frau. I won't go too far, but I know, like, the ending of all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm eager to see what happens. I feel like this is the kind of show where people are going to be getting together,
Correct.
I mean, it certainly starts in these batch of episodes, so...
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, but... I don't know, it's weird.
It's interesting.
Hey, yeah, So we cut back to
We cut back to Xeon.
We cut back to Xeon. So Dozel's mad right now.
Dozel's so mad.
Because he doesn't have a whole fleet of Doms and Zakus and what have you like he wanted. He just has one robot.
But do you know what that one robot is? Do you know what that one robot is?
Morg, please tell me the name of the robot.
Oh, hey, Big Zam.
Oh, look at that Big Zam.
Oh!
It's Big Zam.
Big Zam's here.
Big Zam. The stupidest robot I've ever seen in my life. I love it so much.
Dumb. It's so stupid. It's literally a, like...
We'll get there. We'll get there. I have some jokes. I have some choice words to say about large Zamuel.
Or Zom, as they like to call it. And I'm like, there's an A, not an O. I'm saying Zam.
Well, if you're saying it in Japanese, it'd be Big Zam. So it would be Zom?
Fine, they're saying it correctly, but I'm gonna call it Big Zam.
It is large Zamuel.
I always say things wrong, like Char, so it's fine.
It's very good. So yeah, and Zozel's like mad not only about that, but like they can't track the TNM fleet because there's way too many Minovsky decoys around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we cut over to Side 6. Char's leaving. Cameron's like, bye, asshole, don't ever come back. And Char says the extremely normal thing of, you only exist because Xeon hasn't destroyed you yet.
Yeah! I was like, holy shit.
It's like, I get reminded that Char isn't this like gallant, mystical space boy. He's just like very much a military guy.
He's not a good person. Like,
he's not a good person no matter how much we wish he was.
I love to see him, but he's a bad person.
Just send him to therapy. Get him better.
Send him all to therapy. Man. Okay.
So, but he says they see Lala with him too, and Char's like, yeah, she's gonna come with me. We get like this weird like 30-second scene of her just like floating through a tunnel. So we see this a lot because again, it started last week where it's like selective gravity, people can just be floating and some people aren't. But like the way she does it almost makes it seem like it's supposed to be a different kind of floating.
Yeah,
maybe?
I was thinking it was because I was like, everyone else is standing. She's like very purposely floating and like being very like magical and mystical. I was like, maybe she can just do that. Like, I don't know. Char also calls.
Yeah.
Char also calls her like his sister.
He says, like, Cameron's like, what's her deal? And Char's like, she's like a sister. Let's leave it at that. Like,
yeah.
what? And I'm like, damn, Char, you're gonna friend zone her already?
Damn, I don't know how old she is, first of all.
That's the thing with this show. You can't tell because Char like is 21. He doesn't look like he's 21,
he looks like a teen, kind of. But
he does look like a teen,
like an older. Like he definitely looks older than like Amuro and stuff. But he, I guess he's not that much older than like Bright for one. It was like 18 and he's like, but I was thinking also like, damn, he's like, bye Sayla, this is my new sister now.
Sibling ship ended with Sayla, now Lala is my new sister. But we go back to White Base and everyone is like in their battle spacesuit looking things. Everyone's
ready to go.
Katz, Let's, and Kika are also in like adult-sized suits, but they're kids, so they like can't move, and they're like stuck in one of the gravitational chambers, so they can't get in the way and can't get hurt during the battle. Haru's with them too. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, but they also say like, we have to stay in these suits in order to fight. And I'm like, you're not gonna fight? What do you mean?
Just tell them what they want to hear. But they're like, okay, we have to hold out here for like 15 minutes because at that point the Federation will be able to fire its super weapon that we don't know about yet.
It's definitely super. So they do like send out these mobile suits.
They send out the GMs. And the ball.
The ball is here. Ball vs. Big Sam is real.
The ball is just a ball with a gun on its head
It's
and
just
two
a
little
ball.
pinchy grabby arms. It's
a
just ball.
It's just a ball. It's just ball.
Just ball. We love ball. And yeah, battle, missile, boom, boom, shooty shoots. The Federation had these like sort of beam deflection shields where like beam blasts like get curved around it because like a magnetic field or what have you. Dozel's getting owned. Dozel is like chugging coffee.
Yeah, he's like, get me more coffee.
Like Dozel's gonna shit his doo-doo ass with all this coffee he's drinking.
He should just have a coffee pot as a mug.
He should just have an awfully hot coffee pot.
And he should pour it on his balls.
Owned. I kind of like Dozel.
I kind of do too.
So they're fighting, right? Kai is like, oh, I'm doing so good. And then he makes the absolute, well, I guess you wouldn't have heard it in the dub, but like Kai like howls. He makes the absolute funniest noise because he gets scared by a Zaku that's like pops right in front of gun cannon. He's like, ah! And then Sayla has to like bop it for him. He's like, thanks, Sayla, I love you. He literally just says that.
He
it's
does
cute.
say I love you. I was like, aw.
It's not like a I love you, Sayla. It's more like, you got my back. I love you, Sayla.
They're pals. They're good friends.
They're a family of battle team.
They're forged in fire companions. Doesn't Dozel call it like a minor skirmish? He's like, I don't want to ask for reinforcements because this is just a minor skirmish. I'll be fine.
But just in case, I'm gonna send all of the women and the children to to Granada base. Just in case, everything's gonna be fine. So it's a minor skirmish, but just in case.
Just in case. Get them all off this planet. It might explode. Or base, whatever.
Base. It's an asteroid. He has a daughter too, Minerva.
Yeah.
Minerva. Do they call her Minerva or Minerva?
They call her Minerva, even though it's Minerva.
Okay, they do call her Minerva. Oh, well, it's Minerva in the sub. There's no R in it. I didn't know if they changed it for that. But yeah, Minerva and Zana is his wife, I believe.
I just can't read, apparently.
Who among us?
Yeah, it's Minerva.
And then, did you catch the absolute like crazy line the narrator said after this part?
No.
So battle, shoot, death. So the line goes, life or death. No one knows the outcome until the very end. The only certainty is that with every beautiful sparkle in the sky, people, or even hundreds of them, are becoming debris littered through space.
Oh, they did! Yes.
Hello?
I do remember that, and I forgot, because I think I was just like, what? I like forgot to write down a note for it, but I did notice, yeah.
Wanna run that one by me again, narrator?
I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Who knows?
It's a lot. It's a pretty cool line. That's a pretty sick poem, if you ask me.
Wow, cool poem. Cool writing.
You wanna tell me what the Federation super weapon is, Morg?
They're solar panels. They're literally
it's just
solar
mirrors.
Panels. They're mirrors.
It's mirrors.
They're mirrors, but they call them like the solar system or the solar flare system.
They literally call it they literally just call it the solar system in the sub.
Yeah,
it's like
it's the solar
it's
flare
a system of solar panels. Yeah, but a solar system's a thing.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it. It's like, oh, it's a grid of mirrors. Like, that's for a pretty cool weapon. I wonder what it could do. Oh.
Yeah.
I understand.
It does what mirrors do and reflect light. Do you know what their weapons are? Light. They reflect lasers back at them and destroy so many robots. It's crazy.
It's like a genuinely scary moment because
scary.
it doesn't make noise. It's just photons, but it just angles everything and curves it and just like literally like melts part of Solomon. Like it's cool, but it's like also scarier than the nuke from the Odessa day. Like, cause you see that and you're like, that is like just immediate destruction.
Yeah, that like whenever just like something just gets like vaporized and they disappear, that's like, if I think about it for too long, I'm like, that's actually really scary. Like, it's cool in the moment, and then you're like, oh god, there's nothing left of that person.
Yeah, Dozel's like trying to track it, and he can't because it's not Minovsky particles, it's not a missile, it's not a laser. It's just photons. You can't track that.
Yeah, it's just light. It's just a laser. Like, I think they're just reflecting lasers back at them. You know,
I am just reflecting.
bro, I am. What would my reflection show? Who I am inside.
Despite everything, it's still you. Amuro. You're Amuro. You're Gundam.
I am Gundam. Yeah, it's a lot. But there's also this like they're still fighting back, you know, like they're still
yeah, this doesn't like wipe out all their things at once.
It's still going. And there's like this whole moment of like Hayato getting hurt and having to go back and having to go back to White Base to get all patched up and stuff. And it's just like seeing this night, like this little like very human moment after a very like wiping out moment is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's like it's a very tender moment is what it is, you know?
Yeah, because it's very tender. Like Hayato is like, you know, when he's feeling bad and goes back, and Fraubo like goes to see if he's okay. Like, well, goes to like help out with first aid in general, because there's just so many like hurt people, and yeah, she like specifically is helping Hayato, and they have like this moment where like Hayato's like feeling bad because he couldn't keep up with he was like, I couldn't even keep up with Sayla and Kai, let alone Amuro is pretty much what he's saying here, because he like wanted to beat out Amuro, but he's all like, I got hurt instead.
Yeah, and then Frau Bo says this line that like really got me. She's like, Amuro's different from us. And like she says that, and yeah, she means it from her understanding of like, yeah, Amuro is like become a real soldier doing crime and war. But like and it cuts over and Amuro's like, you know, going sicko mode. But it's like, no, Amuro is becoming different from us. Like physiologically, I guess, in his brains.
He's different. Like he's like
his IQ's going because he watched Rick and Morty. That's how you become a new type.
God damn it. I refuse to watch Rick and Morty, which means I have an even
enjoy being an old type, I guess.
It means I have an even bigger IQ because I refuse it. It's not that I don't even know it.
That's the secret.
It's refusing it. I am the smartest person alive.
Speaking of the smartest person alive, Dozel's still slamming coffee. He's gonna like, man, this guy's gonna destroy the turlet when he's done.
Mm-hmm.
But he does order all the mobile suits and stuff to retreat. He's like, we're gonna fight them at Solomon's doorstep. And then Char gets called in as reinforcements, and he's gonna be on the way. He tells Lala, he's like, you're gonna head into battle soon. Who is she? Yeah,
I'm like, who's this? Who's like, she just looks like a civilian. Like, she's still dressed like a civilian. She still like doesn't know what's, you know, like she knows what's happening because she's got prediction powers, I guess. But like,
yeah,
she's not a soldier.
She's not a soldier. So, but yeah. Anyway, they're getting sent in. Cameron's sad about Mirai again for like the 20th time. I get it. Me too, buddy. And Dozel has to say goodbye to Zena and the Babby. He's like, all right, you're going to go to Granada Base. You're going to hang out with Caecilia. I'm not going to die, but also goodbye forever.
Yeah, he does say that. I'm like, way to make me like a character immediately and then make them suffer, you know?
Yeah, but look, the suffering is completely diminished because Dozel gets to go in the Big Zam.
He goes in the Big Zam. He's in the Big Zam. He's in the Big Zam.
We don't get to fully see it yet, I don't think. But
no, it's not until episode 36.
It's in shadow. Episode 36? What's it called?
Big Zam's Last Stand.
Well, it's the first time we've seen it, but I'll go off, I guess. I guess it's a short-lived sort of reign of the Big Zam here.
Yeah, it kind of spoils what happens to the Big Sam.
They do that a lot. It's like not the first time.
I mean, we kind of knew.
We kind of knew, like,
And
Dozel has... the fact that Dozel... Here's the thing. Dozel told his family 5 times that he's going to be okay, which is like, you know, writer speak for this dude gonna die.
Well, Dozel also, like, it's... I think it's implied, kind of, Dozel knows, like, he's not going to make it out.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely knows. What's it? After Dozel, the only zombies left are Kycelia, Giran, and Dagwin. So, 2 down? Well, not 2 down. 1 down so far. Dozel will be fine, don't worry. Not spoiling anything. So, battle happens. Bing, 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 bam, boom, pow, kaboom. Slager gets his G-Fighter all messed up. So, God, this part. Mirai is all conflicted. Bright's like, you can... he's like, you can take a break if you want. And he's like, I'll always be here waiting for you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
I was like, oh, Bright. Oh, no. I have to add, first of all, I have to add another het chip to my list, I guess. Which is Bright and Mirai. It happens. You know, statistically speaking, there's going to be more het chips.
The math just adds up, don't it?
It's alright. It's fine. I've accepted it. But
it's fine.
I don't.
we have Kayato, so it's fine.
God. Do we though? I do not ship Mirai and Slager though.
Yeah, so Slager's taking. He's like, the G-Fighter's getting repaired. He's eating a burger in like the waiting room or whatever.
He's eating a burger incorrectly because he's not Bright.
And you also see the crumbs of it floating in 0G, which is a cute touch.
Yeah, it is, but it's also like
he's kind of a messy boy.
He's kind of a messy boy. He's kind of a messy bitch, honestly. Yeah, so Mirai is like, oh, thank God, you're okay. Oh, I was worried. Oh, she's like gonna cry or something.
She is crying. She
definitely
she tears up.
Never mind. She's not gonna. She is. She is in the act of crying because she was worried about Slager.
They're talking. She tells him how happy she is that he's not dead, and he basically is like, "You're so young. We're worlds apart. Like you can't take your feelings this seriously. You're dazzling." Like he takes off a ring and he's like, "Hey, my mother gave this to me." And
yeah, he said it's not. He's like, it's not that important, or it's not that big of a deal, but this is my mother's ring, and I'm like, that sounds like a big deal. It sounds like, or maybe he was like, it's not an expensive ring. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But Mirai takes it and is like, he's like, keep this safe while I'm in battle, and they kiss.
It happens. I wish it were different characters.
It sucks because I kind of like them as friends. Like, yeah, it was a messy start to say the least, but I kind of like them as just being like, you know, a friendship forged kind of thing, because they were battling together and they like respect each other, even though he did like slap her. You know, friends do dumb shit.
It's like Amuro and Sayla.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything there. They're just like buddies. I mean, again, buddies forged via murder, but still buddies.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I was starting to like their friendship. I was like, oh, okay, he's, fine. But then they kiss, and I'm like, oh, I guess.
They do it. Whatever. It's fine. It happens.
It's fine. We'll get over it. Pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah.
Because, anyway,
Amuro is like infiltrated Solomon Base in the big melty hole that it has been burned into it.
Yes, and he and like several other Federation mobile suits end up fighting in there. And
what are they fighting?
Well, at first they're just fighting, other
Zaku's and the
stuff.
like. Just
like, oh man, there's so much security inside too. what ends up happening is Amuro is like, looking around, and one of the GMs, comes across a big, 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 big mobile suit called Big Sam.
Hey, Big Sam.
Oh, hey, Big Sam.
Big Sam is Big Sam is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Big Sam is a big green
it's a pumpkin on legs is what it is. It's a fat ass and long legs.
I was gonna say an egg, like a chick coming out of an egg, because like the legs popped out first.
Oh my god, that's what it is.
It's a partially hatched chicken. And
Big Sam is new boot goofing.
Big Sam's got the best boots.
Big Zam is a new type goofin. Big Zam more like Big Gams. Big Zam is my dad now. I love him.
Big Zam's my dad. Dozel's in there with two other Zeon soldiers.
Dozel's having the time of his life melting the Federation.
He's literally melting them. There's like piles of mobile suits later that are just like melted piles. It's kind of grody.
Yeah, it's look, Big Sam's cool as hell, but it's just a little scary because it's big and it can just kill things like really easy.
It's big and it's Zam.
It's large Zamuel.
Big Zam, Big Alakazam. No, what if it was an Alakazam though?
I'm thinking about it.
So yeah, it's just this big green egg with legs.
Yep. And it's just beating ass.
It's got so much laser stuff happening, and it's stomping around on everyone, and Amuro, like, eventually comes across its destruction as like, what the hell caused this?
Yeah, like in between this, we see shots of Granada Base, and Makuve like has a fleet assembled. He almost decides not to pick up the refugee ship, that like the escape pod that was shot out from Solomon, but everyone else convinced him to, because if it was just Makuve alone, he wouldn't have done it because he's an asshole.
Yeah, I was wondering like why. I was like, I know he's kind of annoying and an asshole.
It's because he's just rude.
But like, why wasn't he like? He's just like, fuck these Zeon people, even though I'm Zeon too.
Yeah, he's ugh. He just doesn't. Oh, excuse me. He doesn't like the Zoppi family, I think.
He works for them.
Yeah, you don't need to like
I guess Char works for them and doesn't like them either.
Yeah. But they do it. They like it's another really cool moment because, Zena wakes up and sees, and she's like, "Oh, allied ships." It's like, yeah, that's their allies. It's like two sides of the war or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're happy, they're rescued, and like I think he's going to get ready. He hasn't like sent anything out yet, but he's like getting ready for that. We cut back to the battle at Solomon, and Dozel's, still beating ass. Dozel, like, at this point, he's like, all right, we're going to start getting people out of here because this is not going well. The Federation has like 60% of their mirrors left, and they're going to still keep on blasting. Slager's just having fun in the G-Fighter. He's doing great. He's having a really good time.
For now. But eventually, what is it that they see Big Zam? When do they like combine into G-Fighter? It's like after.
Yeah. So okay. So what happens is.
Yeah, that's right.
At this point, At this point, Dozel's like left Solomon. He's just like flying around in space in Big Zam, going ham in the Zam.
He comes up and Kai ends up like stepping on Big Zam's big head and is like, yes. What am I on top of?
It's really funny.
It's very funny.
It's funny. It's so it's like Amuro, Kai, and Slager are there now. And Big Zam can't be hit by any like beams because it has like really powerful magnetic fields that like deflect them away.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to use missiles. And at this point, like, Dozel, he's like, all right, we're going to abandon Solomon. I'm going to fire a flare. I'm going to get my two co-pilots out of here because I got to be in the Big Zam and only me. And he's like, yeah, just me. He's like, he doesn't want any more men to die on his watch, which is good for him.
Yeah.
And then I'm just so conflicted on Slager because, like, it's unforgivable that he's hit Mirai. And I know this is like the, bottom, like the lowest bar possible. He's like, as the Zeon guys escape Big Zam, he's like, well, I'm not going to fire on unarmed people. It's like, okay, you're an asshole, but like, that's more than what most people could say in this show.
He's complicated. They're all complicated in this show, and I appreciate that. I'm just very...
I'm sure I'll get a lot more time to sort of like see Slager's actions and have him grow on me as a complex character.
Anyway, cut that out.
Anyway.
What was that?
I don't know why. I'm gonna cut that out too.
No. It was very good. Yeah. Eventually, they're like, okay, we keep trying to blast Big Zam. It's not working with all these ships. And so, Slager has the idea of combining into G-Fighter.
Yeah, so the way he does it with Amuro,
he does it with like the finger sex move of like the
he does it with like the sort of like sad Dom Animal Crossing faces, like putting his two fingers together, like, can we please combine Amuwo?
Oh, you're right. That is what it is.
It's not two dongs going together.
Listen, I think I was distracted, but. Yeah, he's just like, can we combine? Amuro, like, understands what the fingers mean and is like, okay, yeah, I guess. Will this work?
And it does. They're gonna, like, fly up because it can't deflect a whole ship. So Amuro can hop out in Gundam and start beating ass.
Yeah, and they're gonna use, like, all different weapons. They're gonna use, like, if we use the beam saber and the laser and the everything, we can maybe target it.
Yeah, he's like, Amuro, we're going to fly up, we're going to throw everything we got at it, no matter the cost. He turns to the camera and says, we're going to do this no matter the cost.
No matter the cost.
And yeah, they fly up. Big Zam's anti-air defenses are shooting off its, like, talons of his feet to, like, pinch into the G-Fighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eventually, they get close enough, and then Big Zam's steppy. Big Sam, big steppy.
Slager says, please no steppy, and Dozel says, please yes steppy, and he, like, grabs the G-Fighter and starts shaking it with the leggies of Big Zam.
And he, like, pierces the actual place where, like, Slayer is? Like, the part he's in. The, like...
The cockpit.
The cockpit of the fighter part, and... Not Gundam is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Amuro's fine, but Slager fucking dies.
He's in space. We can no longer see how complicated a character he is.
Nope, he's died.
He's
and
just
it's
dead.
Again, I want to like him, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't look past his actions, but at the same time, he was very charming and. He was just an idiot child. He's
charming, dumb boy, but...
Who also does a little bit of misogyny sometimes.
Is a misogynist. But also, we didn't get to see him, like, grow or anything, because he died.
Yeah.
And that's the tragedy of Lieutenant Slager.
JG Slager Law.
JG Slager.
That's the T. But yeah, Amuro's like, well, alright. And he just starts hacking away at the Big Zam. He's doing the thing. So, hey, this scene is kind of weird, don't you think, Mork?
So he sees that happen, like, after he'd done, like, some shooting into Big Zam, but he also, like, has his eyes glowy, and when he gets mad about Lieutenant Slager being in space, and his eye glowy, and he puts the gun into the exhaust pipe?
He puts the gun in Big Zam's big hole.
He puts the big hole. And he blasts it. He finger blasts the hole.
Jesus. Dozel hops out because he's like, this is Dozel's last stand. He just gets like a regular human gun and he just starts shooting at Gundam.
He like
And
does
when
not,
he does,
because he doesn't want to like lose to this punk.
oh yeah, he's just like constantly screaming like I'm Dozel, I'll never lose. And as he does this, more Chernobog from Fantasia's Night on Bald Mountain shows up. Is like bah, 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 bah. And he's
That's
just
exactly
like
what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Demon.
There's a demon.
It's a devilish demon appears behind Dozel. What could this mean?
It's just a demon that comes out of Dozel's back.
Freaking summon Skull is here now. Yeah, it just does it.
Beelzebub just boops out of his back. Mephistopheles is just manifests.
And then, like, Dozel just gets hit by, like, a stray blaster shot and dies, and the demon disappears. But what the hell was that about?
The demon disappears. It's just like Amuro sees this demon. Like, I think it's Amuro is the only one that sees this demon come out of him. And we have no idea what this means.
My theory is that it's Amuro sort of using his news type abilities to visualize the sheer, like, hatred energy coming off of Dozel at that moment.
That's what I was wondering. Like, I think it definitely does have to do with the new type powers, but I was like, I don't know what this thing is and why.
Amuro could just summon a demon now. It's fine.
No, it's definitely Dozel's
It's not
demon.
it's not a new type power. It just happens. It's just like another thing Amuro can do, totally irrespective of that. He can like summon his persona.
Maybe that's Dozel's persona.
It's just
It's
bad
very
shit.
funny. Like, it's not funny because it's actually terrifying, but it's really funny in retrospect.
It's not funny, but at the same time, it's one of the funniest things that's happened this entire show.
It's like so scary. Also.
Scary.
I was like, this is just a human man, but is he actually just a human man? But also, sorry, I can't like contain myself. When Dozel is like blasted, Amuro like backs up, and it just shows Amuro. Like, did you notice that? Where like Amuro is just like out.
Oh, I sure fucking did, homie.
Because it just showed Amuro backing up in space, like he was in space, and then it cuts back and he's still in Gundam, but it's because he's Gundam.
Hey, Morg?
You get it? He's Gundam.
Amuro is Gundam.
I think Amuro is Gundam. I think that's his body.
Gundam is Amuro.
I think Gundam is Amuro. I think
the Venn diagram of Amuro and Gundam is one circle.
It's a circle. I am thou and thou are I. Actually, Gundam is his. Actually, Gundam is Amuro's persona. Obviously.
Damn, it's true.
Obviously. Yeah.
This is the best show I've ever seen.
It's the best show I've ever seen, and I'm still just like, why is there a demon?
I'm obsessed with the demon. No one explain the demon. If you explain the demon, I'll kick you out of our Discord.
Yeah, we have to figure it out on our own. Please.
This is a puzzle for us to solve. What happened? What even happened to this
show?
And
then
Xena knows Dozel died. She feels it in her heart of hearts or whatever.
No, isn't she told? I'm pretty sure she's fucking told.
Oh, look, at this point I was still thinking about the daemon, so I didn't fully grok it.
Yeah, one of like Makube's people, like whatever who he was talking to, is like, oh no, Solomon has fallen, and she's crying because she knows that Dozel died when that happened.
Yeah.
I wish she had felt it. That'd be interesting. But yeah, and so she's a single mother raising a child. Interesting.
Damn. It's a weird way to put it.
Sorry. I don't know why I said it like that. I meant a widow, I guess is what I meant to say. She's a widow now, is what I meant to actually say. And that sucks. I'm very curious about it. Like if anything happens with like her kid in a later series or something.
I don't know.
We'll find out. Or you'll find out.
But You know, also sucks though.
Sliger is dead, and Amuro
Amuro has to tell Mirai that.
Yeah. Amuro has to tell Mirai, and she's like begging him to say that it's not true. She's like, please say psych. And then she cry. Because he just says nothing and like looks down. And
then it plays the sad Amuro theme again. It has the lyrics on screen this time. It didn't before when it was with his dad, but like everyone's crying, everyone's sad, everyone's just like not doing so good.
It's a bummer. Like, it's a bummer, even though it's like, oh, Slugger, you know, he made a big impact for how short he was there, you know?
Mm-hmm. This is such a good show. I love Gundam so much.
They won, but at what cost?
And there's still, 7 more episodes? What could happen?
7 more episodes. 2 more of me?
Weeks? 3 more of you, because we're going to do the wrap-up.
Oh, you're right. 3 more of me. You have to stick with me a little longer, everyone.
I can't get rid of you just yet. Hey, maybe best episodes we've seen yet in this show. I love to see it.
Maybe. I mean, a lot of the series with like Ramba Rao and Ryu and stuff like that, also up there.
Mm-hmm.
But this might be better, maybe, possibly. It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I wonder what happens in the last 7 episodes.
Yeah. Well. All right. So I got something for you today, Morg.
Sure.
In their post-show segment. So we can trace the origins of lacrosse back to around 1100 AD. The origins of the sport were played by Native Americans in and around the Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, and American South area. Keen-eyed listeners will know that I did say that I would do a bit on lacrosse for this post-show segment, and I was not joking, and I am doing it right now. I guess in honor, of Slager? I guess because of Slager. I don't know if I want to honor him.
Because of you. No.
I never played lacrosse in a Gundam.
Actually, that'd be kind of cool. Playing sports in a Gundam.
Because of you, I melted a Solomon with the wall of mirrors. But it's anyway. Yeah, lacrosse. We're talking about lacrosse. Who gives a shit anymore? This show is off the rails. Maybe next week I'll talk about demons. I don't know. Lacrosse is based on. Yeah, I've read like some Solomon's Key. Hey, Solomon's Key. Makes you think.
Makes you think.
Forgive me for the pronunciation of these, but lacrosse is based on several games from different Native American tribes. The Owi tribe has a game called Dehunchigwaes, which means Little War. Mohawk tribe, it's called Begadwe, which is Little Brother of War.
Mm-hmm.
In Ojibwe, it's Baga Adowe, which means Bump Hips, and it's called Kabucha in Choctaw.
Oh, cool.
So, and some people will say, but Max, I thought lacrosse originated in Canada. Maybe it did, but the Canadian equivalent, from what I can tell, is stickball, which is different than lacrosse, but very similar.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not an expert. I tried to find like sources from like Native American publications. So hopefully this knowledge is correct. If not, please let me know, because I'm genuinely I would like to know about this. This is very fascinating stuff.
So, I mean, also, like, to be fair, a lot of Ojibwe are in Canada. Like, I would say...
Well, yeah, it's Great Lakes, so it's like that whole area sort of
is,
it's,
the borders are fake, so it's kind of...
The borders were made by Europeans, which
exactly.
So they're not valid.
Yeah. It's funny, like, that actually does kind of explain why, like, I had learned about some of the lacrosse stuff in a nearby thing, because Mohawk are the tribe that I am on. My land is on. The land I am on is on.
Oh, I forgot. We looked it up for Podagreed at one point. I don't remember anymore, but...
Yeah. I don't remember, like, what they call themselves, so I usually am just like Mohawk,
right.
Which is Haudenosaunee or Iroquois or whatever. It's one of the 5 or 6. I always forget. But yeah. I used to know this stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, educate yourself. Find out whose stolen land you're living on, if you're in America or Australia. So traditionally, yeah, that too. America as in like North America.
Oh yeah. Sorry, America's just the U.S. Sorry.
Yeah, the Earth revolves, or the sun revolves around Earth. I'm the center of my own universe. Traditionally, these games that turned into lacrosse lasted several days, involving hundreds to 1,000 men of different tribes or villages on open plains. Goals ranged from 900 yards apart to 6 miles apart, Morg.
Oh my god.
The games would run from sunup to sundown. Scoring would be like a large rock or a tree, I guess some sort of like recognizable landmark. Mm-hmm. You would score more points the higher up you hit it with the ball. So like above head height would be 1 point. Like further up near the top would be 2, and they'd put like an idol or some sort of like totem on the very top, and that's worth 3 points if you could hit that. Games would end generally after 20 points were scored, and that was kept track of by audience members or some players who I guess are just paying attention to it. This part's kind of cool. Passing the ball was seen as like a trick, and it was seen as cowardly to dodge opponents who were gonna get you.
Get you with what? The stick?
With the body. You got a body check.
Oh, okay, yeah. Duh. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, because lacrosse is used for many things. It was used to like settle disputes between tribes. It would use like for toughening warriors for combat. It was also used for like unity within the tribe, for recreation, festivals, religious ceremonies, like a collective prayer. So they used this game for a lot of different things, which is fascinating to me. Mm-hmm. The balls were made of wood or sometimes deerskin stuffed with hair, which is pretty wild.
That makes sense.
They're about 3 inches in diameter.
Instead of a pigskin, it's a deerskin. Haha.
Oh. And the sticks were large wooden spoons originally, basically, with like no netting or anything. Later on, like more advanced sticks they would make with just like, imagine a branch, a stick. The end is sort of bent and curled back on further down the shaft to make a 4 to 5 inch circle. And the netting there would be like deer sinew or stuff like that.
The spoon sounds harder because it probably bounced out.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't you don't have the elasticity of the net to catch the ball in.
Crazy.
And players would often carve their stick, and they would like take the sticks with them to their burial, which is like, so this is a very important cultural thing. They used it for so many different things, which is really fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was like, I don't think it's just a bougie sport.
Yeah. It's like that's the thing. That's the shame, is that it's turned into like a bougie sport now, like the common conception of it. I do believe that modern Native Americans still play it today.
That makes sense.
I don't know if they play it more in an analog closer to how it used to be, or if they just I'm sure they also play modern lacrosse too. But it's just a very culturally significant thing for Native Americans, which I appreciate. I respect it. I really like reading about all this.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, that's my bit today. You learned about lacrosse.
Hell yeah. Like I said, in the future, let's play lacrosse and Gundams in mobile suits.
Let's play lacrosse. I mean, again, sports in mobile suits is basically G Gundam, where the sport is fight.
Oh. Well. Whatever. I'm not on G Gundam, so fuck you.
You know what you are on, though? The internet.
Yeah, I'm on the internet. I am on
Unfortunately
Twitter at Haunting the Morgue, Haunting the MORG. There you'll also find link to my other podcast, The Sonic Shuffle, which is a Sonic lore podcast where we randomly and holistically talk about Sonic lore in various universes that they're in, like the comics and the games and the show and all that stuff. I think that's it for now.
For now. Dun dun dun. I've been Max. Sorry, I burped a little bit there. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else at MaxyBajillion. You can find my other podcast, Pod of Greed, the world's only Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, at twitter.com/podofgreedcast. You can find that show and this show and many, many, many more shows at noisepace.xyz, which is a website for podcasts. And look, we've been saying it. It's podcast season, baby. Get on it.
2020, you're the podcast.
You're the podcast. Go to noisepace.xyz for all of your podcast-related issues. You got a cool demon to tell me about this week, Morg?
Sure. I can pull up a cool demon.
a demon. If you can make the argument that a demon's a robot, I will allow it.
No, I'll pull up a robot. I feel like there is a way. Well, there's like
a lot of the personas sort of turn demons into robots.
Yeah. Never mind. I'll go with Ava. That's fine. Whatever. It's fine.
Let's do it.
Sorry. Yeah, so Ava. Evangelion. I believe Ava 01 is the only one that's like a robot. But it's also kind
No,
of
they all are.
Okay, we did
They're
decide.
all the same, I believe.
Okay.
Well, no. I mean, like physiologically, all the Ava units are like the same thing on the inside.
Right. Well, Ava spoilers, I guess, but they're also kind of robots and biology inside. Because they are piloted, much like a Gundam is, but they use like this thing called an AT field to like bust against the angels that they have to battle, which is the thing that, you know, their enemy. And the AT field is like a absolute terror, not anti-terror.
Yeah.
The anti-terror field.
That's what they put up after 9/11.
Oh no. The US wishes they had Avas.
No, they probably do, so they can do crimes with them.
Exactly. They're like based on one of the angels that has that, and then they have like robot on top of it, kind of. They're like the angel Adam. And they like connect to their pilots like souls and stuff, and
you gotta get in the juice.
They gotta get in the robot and get in the juice. And the Ava's design is cool. It's just like a purple and green thing.
It's just cool. I like to see it. I'm looking at my Ava poster right now. I'm looking at my Ava Gunpla right now. It's good.
But it still needs to like, it's interesting because it needs to like, it's like plugged in, like to work.
Yeah.
It like has to, like, it can only be like unplugged for like a few minutes.
Like 300 seconds, I think. 500 seconds.
Oh, like yeah, maybe 3. I don't know.
It's like 5 or 10 minutes of go time off the plug.
But it's like a very interesting limiter. Like
it's a good source of tension in the show.
Part of it is because also like the show is set in like 2014, but the show was made in like 1990s something or other.
It's the it's the
like
future
a near
of the past.
future. Yeah. So, you know, they have to make do. Robot makers make do. Yeah. I just like the fin on its head and the fact that it goes berserk all the time, and it's just like got big old scary teeth.
God, when it opens its mouth, though, that's the coolest thing in the world.
It's so cool. It can, like, regenerate stuff, too, at some point, I'm pretty sure. I'm, like, pretty sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, because in, spoiler alert, it does grow back its arm in, I think, the Rebuild movie?
Yes. That is what I am seeing when I looked it up.
Yeah, Ava cool. Respect Ava, I guess. Stan Ava.
I stan Ava, but also fear Ava because scary.
Yeah. Robot's scary.
I like the whole like AT field thing. Like even if it's like it ends up being like kind of. I looked it up at one point because it's like they say it's like a psychological thing, but it's kind of some bunk science. But it's like interesting that
it's quote unquote science.
It's like based on like protecting yourself and this whole hedgehog dilemma thing, and it's just cool. I don't know. I thought it was cool when I watched it. It's been a while since I've seen Ava, so maybe I'd be like, this is pretentious.
Sonic the Hedgehog dilemma.
Listen, maybe I should cover Ava in Sonic Shuffle.
If you make the connection, go for it.
No. I refuse. I think that's
Rohan Kishibe voice. I refuse.
I think that's really it.
Yeah, And that's really it for this week's podcast. We had a good time. Watch out for the demon, everybody.
Yeah. Keep your light on. Keep a nightlight. Might be a demon after you.
Maybe it could be avoided if you don't kill.
Yeah, don't do war crimes.
It's just don't do war crimes, please. I shouldn't have to ask that.
That's how we end the show. Please don't do war crimes.
Please don't do war crimes.
Get some help.
Do you know why we don't do war crimes?
No.
I'll tell you why. It's because war is bad.
Wow. Cool robot.